Hey, hey, English learners from every corner of the world. Welcome back to another brand new episode of English Daily Podcast, your cozy, practical, and authentic home to master real-world English through natural, everyday conversations. I'm Sara.
And I'm John. Today, we are exploring a category of human strengths that can fundamentally alter the trajectory of your entire life. Strengths that never feel the need to shout, posture, or demand immediate applause from the room.
Exactly. We are not talking about the kind of strength that tries to dazzle an entire crowd in the first 5 seconds of a meeting.
We are talking about the quieter kind. The kind that people might completely overlook upon first meeting you, but over months and years becomes the absolute bedrock of your character and your reputation.
The kind of internal strength that keeps you upright when life throws heavy emotional storms at your doorstep. The kind that keeps your hands steady on your daily work, even when nobody's watching, clapping, or cheering your name.
Because modern internet culture has conditioned so many of us into believing that a superpower has to be loud, flashy, theatrical, and performative.
Like exuding explosive, extroverted confidence in every single room, possessing dazzling raw talent in every domain, or delivering the razor-sharp, witty comeback at the exact microsecond required.
But real life is almost never structured like a cinematic superhero blockbuster.
Sadly, no. No special effects, no dramatic background music.
Sometimes your true world-class superpower is simply the quiet stamina you bring to surviving a brutal personal season.
Sometimes it is your unwavering daily consistency.
Sometimes it is your deep patience with yourself and others.
And sometimes it is your rare, precious ability to listen, to genuinely, deeply listen with your whole presence when every other person at the table is merely waiting in a mental holding room for their turn to speak.
So, Sara, are you telling our listeners that we aren't wearing spandex superhero suits, flying across city skylines, or shooting laser beams from our eyes today?
No spandex suits, no capes, and absolutely zero laser beams, John. We left our capes at home.
What a massive disappointment to my childhood dreams.
Just real, human strengths, the foundational virtues that quietly protect your future, preserve your dignity, and make you resilient from the inside out.
And honestly, I think millions of people already possess these extraordinary strengths, but they fail to recognize them because they're constantly searching for something loud, superficial, and obvious.
Exactly. They look in the mirror and criticize themselves. Oh, I'm not the most charismatic speaker in the room. I'm not the smartest mathematician. I'm not the most naturally gifted artist.
But perhaps your true power is the quiet courage to pick up your broken pieces, wipe the dust off your knees, and begin again after a devastating disappointment.
That one is profound, John. The strength to begin again.
It really is. So in today's episode, we are pulling back the curtain on the quiet superpowers that genuinely build character and lasting confidence.
This is a rich B2 level episode, so please relax, enjoy the natural flow of our back and forth dialogue, and don't worry if a few advanced collocations are unfamiliar to you on the first listen.
Later in the episode, during our deep dive word tour, we will slow down, practice the pronunciation, and master 10 high-level words and phrases. Steadfast, weather the storm, hold steady, restraint, keep your head, composure, intuitive, pick up on, discernment, and self-regulation.
And we have a community question for all of you to consider throughout this episode. What do you consider your own quiet superpower? Is it staying calm under pressure, listening without judgment, or getting back up when life knocks you down?
Let's start with our first quiet superpower, and it's one that begins in a very counterintuitive place, the depth that is forged inside struggle.
That sounds almost contradictory at first glance, doesn't it? Because nobody wakes up on a Tuesday morning, looks out the window and says, you know what I'd love to experience today? A prolonged season of emotional distress.
Nobody orders heartbreak and financial strain like a hot morning latte.
Exactly. We are not romanticizing suffering. We are not claiming that pain is beautiful simply because it hurts.
But we are recognizing an undeniable psychological truth. A hard, testing season does something transformative to the human spirit. It burns away the trivial nonsense, slows down your racing ego, and forces you to confront what actually matters.
Struggle strips away the superficial facades first, the obsession with public image, the shallow pride, the exhausting need to constantly pretend that your life is flawless.
And what is left standing when the storm clears? The authentic you, the grounded you, the steadfast you.
Steadfast is such an exceptional, magnificent word.
Steadfast describes someone who remains firm, loyal, unwavering, and steady, especially in the face of adversity and disappointment.
Not because they are fearless, but because they have been tested by fire and refuse to abandon their principles.
Millions of learners listening to us right now have survived profound challenges, relocating to a new country, losing a job, healing from a painful breakup, or learning a difficult language from scratch.
And when you emerge from those seasons, you don't become louder or arrogant. You become deeper. You learn how to weather the storm.
To weather the storm, meaning to endure and survive a perilous, difficult period without losing your internal integrity or falling apart completely.
And John, the greatest test during a hard season isn't just surviving the external pressure. It is your relationship with yourself inside the storm.
Explain that internal dynamic for our listeners.
When circumstances go wrong, does your internal voice turn into a cruel prosecutor that attacks you? Or do you learn to sit with yourself, extend compassion, and gently carry your spirit through the dark days?
Some of the most deeply empathetic, compassionate people on earth are individuals who have walked through their own valleys of suffering.
Not because suffering automatically grants wisdom, but because it breaks your shallow illusions. It makes you softer toward others without making you weak.
Softer but clearer, kinder but far more formidable.
Life gives you a few bruising lessons, and suddenly you stop wasting your precious energy arguing over trivial, petty grievances.
Your perspective widens, your judgment decreases, and your patience deepens. That is the very essence of a quiet superpower.
And that leads us directly into our second quiet superpower, which takes that earned depth and gives it daily structure, consistency.
Society loves to worship intensity. We love the Hollywood montage, dramatic music, high-energy speeches, 3 days of insane effort, and 24 hours of manic motivation.
And then, by day 4, complete and total silence. The gym bag sits abandoned in the hallway, the English notebook is buried under magazines, and the new lifestyle is postponed until next month.
Real, life-altering change is rarely loud or exhilarating. Most of the time, consistency looks profoundly ordinary, routine, and unglamorous.
It is sitting down to review 10 collocations when you feel tired. It is taking a 20-minute walk in the rain. It is putting a small amount of money into savings. It is opening your English lesson even when you lack a single ounce of inspiration.
Motivation is a moody, unreliable houseguest. It shows up with excitement on Saturday morning and vanishes without an explanation by Tuesday afternoon.
But consistency knows how to hold steady.
To hold steady, meaning to maintain your balance, stay firm on your path, and keep moving forward without swinging wildly back and forth.
And in a modern world that constantly pressures us to scroll fast, switch fast, compare fast, and quit fast, the quiet ability to hold steady is an absolute superpower.
Furthermore, consistency builds evidence-based self-trust.
Not empty affirmations like, I am amazing because I said so in the mirror, but quiet, factual confidence. I have proof. I keep showing up for myself day after day.
And to shield that consistency from the chaos of daily life, you require a third quiet superpower: discipline.
Ah, the dreaded D word that people respect in theory, but desperately avoid in practice.
Everyone loves the fruits of discipline. Very few people enjoy the bitter taste of its daily execution.
Because discipline is rarely a glamorous, heroic charge onto a battlefield. Most of the time, discipline is simply the ability to say no to your current temporary mood.
It stops your passing emotions from causing permanent damage to your long-term future.
Discipline is what steps in when the easy, comfortable distraction is whispering in your ear. Just scroll for 2 more hours. You can study English tomorrow.
And real discipline frequently wears the clothes of restraint.
Restraint, the conscious, measured ability to control your impulses, hold your tongue, and choose deliberate non-action.
People assume discipline is all about what you do, but often it is defined by what you refuse to do, not sending the toxic, angry text message in the heat of the moment, not spending money you don't have to impress people you don't like, not abandoning a valuable long-term goal just because week 2 feels boring, not insisting on having the last word in a petty argument just to feed your ego.
And when high-pressure situations arise, you need the quiet capacity to keep your head.
To keep your head, meaning to remain calm, rational, and clear thinking when everyone around you is spiraling into emotional panic.
That's why discipline is not punishment. Discipline is love in its most serious, protective form.
It is how you love and protect your future self before that future even arrives.
But no matter how disciplined your systems are, life will inevitably disrupt your plans, which brings us to our 4th superpower, adaptability.
In the modern era, the world changes at lightning speed. Job markets fluctuate, technologies evolve, personal circumstances shift overnight.
Truly adaptable people accept reality faster than everyone else, not because they celebrate every painful change, but because they realize that fighting an unchangeable reality is a complete waste of energy.
They feel the disappointment, they process the grief, but they don't remain paralyzed for weeks.
And what allows them to pivot so gracefully is composure.
Composure, a calm, controlled, and dignified way of conducting yourself during unexpected disruption.
Adaptability is not panic disguised with a fake smile. It is the calm space that allows you to take a breath, assess the altered landscape, and ask, okay, this unexpected shift has occurred. What is my most intelligent next move?
Adaptability is not surrendering who you are. It is updating how you navigate the world.
And the people who navigate change with composure almost always possess a 5th superpower, emotional intelligence and deep self-awareness.
People often assume intelligence is purely logical reasoning, memorizing facts, and processing analytical data.
But emotional intelligence shapes the quality of your daily relationships. It is the ability to read the emotional climate of a room, understand your own triggers, and decode subtle human signals.
Emotionally intelligent people are often exceptionally intuitive.
Intuitive, able to understand situations and human feelings instantly, naturally, and deeply, without needing a long, literal explanation.
They possess the sharp perceptual skill to pick up on hidden emotional undercurrents.
To pick up on, meaning to perceive, detect, or register subtle, unspoken cues in someone's tone of voice, body language, or facial expression.
When a colleague says everything is totally fine, an intuitive person picks up on the slight pause, the tense shoulders, and understands that everything is definitely not fine.
And when you combine emotional intelligence with self-awareness, you unlock discernment.
Discernment is the refined ability to judge situations accurately, see beneath the surface, and distinguish between what is genuinely healthy and what is subtly toxic.
Discernment allows you to recognize your own behavioral patterns. I tend to overcommit when I feel insecure. I get defensive when I'm sleep-deprived. I procrastinate when a project matters so much that I fear failure.
Self-awareness is not an instrument for self-punishment. It is an analytical mirror for honest, continuous evolution.
That brings us to what might be the most underrated, rare, quiet superpower on Earth: active, compassionate listening.
In a noisy, distracted culture where everyone is screaming for 5 seconds of internet fame, true listening has become a lost art.
Most people do not listen to understand. They merely wait in a mental holding room for their turn to speak.
Active listening is pure presence. It is setting aside your phone, dropping your ego, and giving someone the gift of your undivided attention.
When someone feels truly, deeply heard by you, their defensiveness melts away, mutual trust flourishes, and communication barriers dissolve.
Sometimes the most powerful sentence in an entire conversation is not a brilliant philosophical speech. It is a quiet, sincere, "I understand. Please tell me more."
That brings us smoothly into our dedicated vocabulary segment, Word Tour.
Let's slow down, practice the pronunciation, and thoroughly master 10 powerful words, idioms, and phrasal verbs from today's episode.
Word 1. Steadfast. Definition: firm, resolute, unwavering, and dutifully loyal, especially during times of difficulty or opposition. Example sentence: her steadfast commitment to her daily language study carried her through the most demanding months of university. Collocations: steadfast loyalty, steadfast resolve, remain steadfast.
Idiom 2, weather the storm. Definition: to successfully survive, endure, or overcome a difficult crisis-filled period without suffering irreversible damage. Example sentence: with patience and mutual support, their family was able to weather the financial storm.
Phrasal verb 3, hold steady. Definition: to maintain a stable, calm, or unchanging position or rate of progress without fluctuating under pressure. Example sentence: when the company underwent sudden restructuring, she chose to hold steady and focus on her core deliverables.
Word 4. Restraint. Definition: the ability to control your impulses, temper, or desires. Intentional self-discipline and emotional moderation. Example sentence: he exercised tremendous verbal restraint by refusing to engage in the hostile online argument. Phrases: show restraint, exercise restraint.
Word 5. Keep your head. Definition: to remain completely calm, rational, and composed in a chaotic, stressful, or emergency situation. Example sentence: while everyone else panicked when the server crashed, the lead engineer kept her head and restored the backup. Opposite: to lose your head.
Word 6. Composure. Definition: the state or feeling of being calm, self-possessed, and in total control of your emotions and behavior. Example sentence: she handled the critical interview questions with poise and extraordinary composure. Phrases: maintain composure, regain composure, lose composure.
Word 7. Intuitive. Definition: possessing the ability to understand, perceive, or know things instinctively and immediately without conscious reasoning. Example sentence: she had an intuitive grasp of human nature and could sense tension the moment she entered a room.
Phrasal verb 8, pick up on. Definition: to perceive, register, notice, or understand something subtle, unspoken, or hidden from direct view. Example sentence:
he quickly picked up on the subtle hesitation in her voice when discussing the revised timeline.
Word 9. Discernment. Definition: the ability to judge well, see the deeper truth of a situation, and distinguish between healthy and harmful influences. Example sentence: years of personal growth gave her the discernment to walk away from drama and protect her peace.
Phrase 10. Self-regulation. Definition: the psychological ability to monitor, manage, and adjust your emotional states, thoughts, and reactions in a healthy manner. Example sentence: mastering self-regulation enables you to pause between an external trigger and your conscious response.
Let's hear how all these rich vocabulary concepts weave into an authentic, fluent B2 C1 spoken reflection.
In the past, I thought strength had to be loud and theatrical, but life has taught me that the most formidable superpowers are quiet. Surviving difficult trials made me steadfast and taught me how to weather the storm. I've learned to hold steady through daily consistency, practice emotional restraint, and keep my head when unexpected crises threaten my composure. Developing an intuitive awareness helps me pick up on subtle human cues, while sharp discernment and self-regulation protect my internal peace. True power doesn't demand the spotlight, it simply endures.
That is an extraordinary piece of communication. It is articulate, dignified, mature, and deeply human.
As we conclude today's episode, we want to leave you with our community reflection question.
In the comments section below, tell us, what is one quiet superpower that has helped you navigate your life or your English learning journey?
Is it steadfastness, restraint, composure, or active listening? Write your thoughts in the comments using at least one phrase from today's word tour.
If you enjoyed today's deep dive into quiet strengths, please hit the like button, subscribe to English Daily Podcast, and share this episode with someone who needs a little encouragement today.
Thank you so much for spending your time and energy with us. Keep listening, honor your quiet strengths, and we will see you in the very next episode.
Take care of your English and take care of your heart. Bye-bye.